Puck ADC back to back. There's obviously going to be a lot of action there, and curious to see if either team will go for an invade, because we've seen that so far in the last 2 or 3 games from ALG.
Yeah, the Ignite on Volibear may be looking to punish this Enchanter top, go for a bit of an all-in instead of getting whittled down like is typical for the matchup. I'm kind of worried for the side of ALG. They have no teleports. Usually, if your top laner is going to rock that Ignite, you have another lane like the mid taking teleport instead, but no, it's double Ignites across the board. They're saying
Triple.
screw macro. Oh yeah, triple with the support. So screw macro, screw playing the map. We want kills. It's going to be a slaughter here in game number 2.
Absolute bloodbath. 50% of the entire Rift is holding an Ignite in their pocket. Definitely looking for some kills early, which is exactly what we want to see. It's exactly what chat wants to see. Good to see that they are giving the fans what they want as we are finally getting into game here. Not an invade. It looks like a standard 5-man setup across the Rift from both teams, as this could be, reminder, TTV's last game in the tournament.
So I want to see their hearts on the line as a result, right? I mean, they come in here with the 5-point stance. I don't hate it. The worst thing that could happen is you just lose the game level 1 and your tournament is over as a result. That is not a game that you enjoy sticking around, playing out, and inevitably FFing at 15 minutes. They go for the 5-point. They play it low and slow. They just want to get into their lane state because they do have some very cheesy lanes, which if they're masters of, they can really start to climb ahead with some advantages. But FaZe Zookeeper suffering a little bit of poke early on.
Yeah, it's going to be tough until he gets some more of his abilities up. You'd think as a ranged auto attack champion that he might have the advantage super early, but unfortunately with the minion doing damage, and now the first hook by Nautilus able to get the stun onto Jinx, and Thresh with a play back to disengage, and it actually looks like the side of ALG losing that trade, although a great hook was landed.
Yeah, and I think, oh, but here's the engage in mid.
Oh, and now Viego going all in on the Graves as he has the level advantage onto him, doing a lot of damage. And now just looking back towards the bot lane, every lane doing pretty aggressive trades so far, except for that top, where I think we could probably expect a 0-kill lane unless we see some jungle. Now a nice stun by Viego, doing a lot of damage onto him, and looking in the bot lane, another hook landed by ZYH Chang, the flash forced out by Jinx quickly.
Yeah, that's just they hit level 2 early. The Kai'Sa Nautilus, that is, they hit the level 2 early. They have that extra ability. They can stack the plasma. They have hook. They have the combat stats. They go all in immediately.
As Viego into the Ignite. That's going to be enough to take Graves down as the Ignite trade is back towards Viego. A great play by the side of 7-7 to shut down FaZe Zookeeper early. We're going to do a quick time check. Thresh now hooking in as well. Jinx doing a little bit more damage, and Nautilus getting very low here. Right now I'm at 302, 303, 304. I think we already just heard that we were 1 second ahead, so actually I'll pause that first and then do a time check. So I'll hit him with a 3, 2, 1, pause, second, play. Now I'm at 313. 314. It looks like we're actually 2 seconds now. Lily Ryan coming into the mid lane, trying to trade back on the Viego, flash forward, and that's going to be Gragas picking up a kill onto Viego, and I'm hearing that we're actually pretty good. Now Mundo hiding in a bush, going after this Mundo, both players with double buffs. That's going to be a lot of damage, but now just falling off as Graves and Lulu rotating back in towards the river.
Yeah, and the Mundo, I mean, his mid laner just died. So while he does win the 1 versus 1 against Gragas there, he's definitely not going to win the 2 versus 1, just immediately runs away, doesn't push his luck too much like your solo queue jungler might, and then inevitably flame you. Why weren't you there to back me up? XD. But instead, it's going to be a bit more mellow here. The Volibear looking for engages on top lane, but no, it's not going to do anything, or does it? As he gets the engage finally, but Lulu with the slow is just able to kite him out so much, and this is why this champion is the most obnoxious pick ever in the top lane. I mean, you just get kited to oblivion as a melee pick, even with speed ups, even with gap closers, but no, it doesn't mean anything as we have a pause here.
Yeah, it looks like the ADC from the side of ALG has just lagged out a little bit. Eco Go. You know, we love him in the stream. I picked him up as my MVP from last game, so it looks like he's just going to disconnect and reconnect here as we try to slow this pause down. I want to highlight again the great re-engage in the mid lane by Gragas and Graves. They were down a kill. Viego was looking to start to snowball, but shutting him down and allowing Gragas to have that gold to redistribute to other lanes. A great re-engagement by TTV, and you can see it reflected in the score and the gold. We're pretty much even all across the board. The side of TTV with ALG, pardon me, with a slight 300 gold advantage.
Yeah, it was a great return there on the side of TTV. Once the flash is down on this mid lane Viego, it is a very vulnerable champ, right? It doesn't have some very reliable gap closers like other mid lane picks. It doesn't have that range, so it has to go. So Viego has to go very far forward in the lane to get those minions, and as a result, it's punished accordingly by the Gragas. Now, what I really want to see here from Gragas is returning to this lane. Flash is a very long cooldown, and Viego does not have it for quite some time. So, will the Gragas return and continue to apply pressure here? You have damage coming out of your graves. You have crowd control with the Gragas on that body slam. So, come back to this lane. There's still no flash. You got one kill. Why not get another?
Exactly, and just trying to reconnect his EcoGo, having a little bit of internet problems. We might even see a router reset or something of the sort. You want to make sure that you're not doing anything that will limit your chances in this game. And now, finally, an unpause. We're back into it.
Yeah, and I'm liking the little bit of CS lead that was acquired early by the Kaisa and Nautilus, but it looks like it evened out in the end. We saw earlier the Thresh hooks landing onto Nautilus, meaning he got very chunked out. And as a result, this lane that should be applying a lot of pressure, garnering a significant lead in the early stages of the game, is just sort of petering out. They're fairly even. Yes, they have about a wave up now at this point, but it's because the minions are pushed so far forward in the lane. There still is gold available for that Jinx to collect.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for additional fights here. So I'm just gonna do a another time check after that pause. Things can kind of go a little bit wonky after a pause. Right now I'm 455, 456, 457, 458. So production can let me know whether I need to pause or not. I want to make sure for the upcoming fights. It looks like we're all perfect and good. All lined up, and Thresh landing the hook into the Jinx W behind it and forcing Kai'Sa to flash out. Now flank forward Nautilus. Oh, sir, HC, you are throwing out hooks today.
And Chang, what are you doing there? Come on, you're the support. Your life doesn't matter. Get in front of that hook for your Kaisa. If you're tanking one of those, you saw the Kaisa has to burn flash immediately because of the chompers from Jinx. It can just be a very long crowd control effect overall. So I would have liked to see some tanking out of the Nautilus there, as Volibear gets a very good trade on this.
Oh no, flash igniting under turn, able to get the auto attack. Look at the burst coming out from Volibear. Jen Dusori hitting him with one early, and now diving under turn into the ignite onto Graves, and that's going to be able to take him down as well. Viego stealing the soul, but now Gragas re-engaging. He's a couple levels down, and it's going to be enough burst. Look at the lifesteal coming out from Viego, and Viego with the double kill in mid.
Oh, what a beast, just popping off here on the Viego pick. Maybe not too experienced on the side of TTV against his champion, and it's showing a little bit. Who cares about your pocket pick Graves when you're going against something equally unfamiliar? As just to do a quick time check here, I'm at 613, 614. Let us know how we're lining up over the overlay here. But overall there, a great double kill out of the Viego, really pushing his advantage further. And FaZe Zookeeper, the Graves middle, is not showing up.
Yeah, I think I was just a second ahead of you, and you might be a second ahead of production. I paused for a second on my end. Now I'm at 33, 34, 35. And so I believe we're probably just going to have to pause for one more second. Again, my time check is 6:42, 6:43, 6:44, 6:45. And it looks like we're 1 second ahead, so I'm going to hit him with a 3, 2, 1 pause, second play. And now I'm at 6:52, 6:53, 6:54, and 6:55. Love doing these little time checks. Gives us something to talk about while there's a bit of a lull in play. And speaking of lulls, it looks like a three-man dive coming towards the top lane. Greg is trying to initiate. Graves rotating up as well, but it's not going to result in anything yet.
Yeah, the Volibear is too dang quick there, able to just get out scot-free. And what this all means around the map is that Mundo is farming uncontested here. Look at the CS difference in that jungle position. This is exactly what Mundo wants, to have a very mellow early game for himself so he can farm up, get his core items, and be that meatball there with the never-ending health sustain coming through. So really fortunate circumstances for the Mundo, but a godly hook.
Oh, and look at the hook from Nautilus into the rehook from Thresh, and that's going to be able to get a play under turret, just tanking these tower shots, forcing the flash out from Nautilus, and he gets ignited by Thresh, able to get out of there as Chen, but a nice hook from Osur as he continues to establish his dominance in this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, Chang, he saw the angle, right? It was a gorgeous hook, like 1 in a million, the kind of thing that you cannot damage carry, but instead it doesn't result in much because it's just way too deep with the minions there. As a little bit of aggression into the jungle by the side of ALG, but it doesn't really result in much. You can see the double pink wards coming out of the side of TTV. They're very scared about these invades, and I like that. Having your vision control, your safe sections of the map to punish if there is an overextension. But instead, there's an engage in the mid lane.
Oh, and now Viego going again under Graves, and the Ignite coming out from Graves, and now re-engaging under turret. He's going to go down there. 1-for-1's going to advantage the Graves as he gets the shutdown.
Yeah, great stuff. Volibear getting another Wally. Oh, he goes all in.
Oh, now Volibear going all in under turret, forcing the ultimate out from Lulu, and that's going to be an Ignite down for Volibear as well.
Yeah, great stuff by the Volibear there, continuing to exert dominance in this top lane against this Enchanter. Normally a bit of a weaker, a stronger laner that can really punish their opposition. And while he does have a clean 15 CS lead as the Lulu, he's down a kill at this point. So bout evens up overall. And as a result, the Volibear is just laughing with this lane state. He is going to be able to be so impactful in the team fights, just really show up. Although I gotta say, I absolutely hate those cooldown boots on the Volibear. What are you doing? Come on, bro. Get some tank stats for yourself. Get a little plated steel caps going.
Yeah, he's not really doing many back-to-back trades. It looks like he's kind of all-inning and then backing up and all-inning. And so those Ionian boots aren't going to be the most efficient for him at all.
Yeah, not one bit. Maybe he's thinking he wants to flash an Ignite cooldown reduction so that he can get the Ignite all in more frequently and win his lane that way. But I think it's a very short-sighted decision. I mean, really, getting a lane advantage is nice, but if you come out of this matchup even as the Volibear, you're laughing because you're going to be able to fulfill that role as a big, beefy tank that can threaten the backline. And who cares about healed and shielding when you can one-shot with a cheeky little crit jump as that Volibear. But
now 7 getting collapsed on by FaZe Zookeeper and Lily. Pentakill enemy trying to go into support into the Bork sway onto the Graves, doing a lot of damage. Now Mundo re-engaging on the Gragas, but Lulu rotating down is going to push Pentakill enemy off of the team. Bit of a trade there, and Graves now worse for wear. He might actually be able to get dove here once Viego pushes the lane in.
I think he's got a recall here. With the Ignite up on Viego, there is no shot that you survive that dive. So yes, he's going to look for the recall instead, but that is devastating. He's going to lose out on so many minions here. No, he's actually signaling, please help me, Gragas. I need support on the tower. Come on, help a brother out. But even if the Gragas comes, what can they do?
It looks like Gragas is going in, maybe trying to get some early CC. A flash knockup from Gragas. Now Viego down to half HP and a nice ultimate to go underneath turret. But 7 able to grab the kill, now healing up quite a bit. Takes the Gragas and ultimate coming out from Graves. And now re-engaging is the Viego. 7 now with another double kill in the mid lane.
Oh no, that is an absolute horror.
Oh, and now engaging the top lane. The Volibear ultimate coming through into the Lulu ultimate. That's going to take him right down. And Jen Desori saying, sorry, those tower shots do not do anything to me. And now ALG significantly ahead.
Oh man, this is just the Viego dominance is showing. He's just completely popping off, and that's what you want on this champion. Viego late game is just an absolute nightmare. He's a freak resetting over and over with that ultimate, getting the execute into transforming into opposing champions is disgusting. He heals so much when he does so, and they're looking to continue.
Now looking again, a Nautilus ultimate coming through into the Graves. He's only level 7, and Viego going with the dive, now getting up to level 8. The Ignite's finally going to take him down. FaZe Zookeeper doing a great job to stay alive under turret there and grabbing the big shutdown on Viego. That has been the name of the game in the mid lane. Viego just outplaying everybody. 7-7 going absolutely bonkers, and then staying a little bit too long, getting a little bit too risky, and going down. That's why he has all the deaths on the team, but also a fair amount of the kills. So still ahead by any means, but maybe just throwing the lead a little bit.
Yeah, and this death on Viego means that TTV is able to look for the dragon here. The side of ALG is collapsing. Will we see a scrap after it's gone? It's looking like not the case, although maybe.
But Thresh staying a little bit too long, trying to get out of those turrets, lanterning himself, and the Jinx rockets coming through. Thresh is going to get caught out, and he is going to be the sacrificial lamb for that dragon. He didn't need to die there, but just trying to clear out the vision for a little bit too long.
Yeah, I got a little bit greedy, thought that maybe ALG was just opting to hand over the dragon instead of being late on the posture, and as a result, he goes for the wards and he dies for the result. It's only 300 gold. There's not like there's a lot of objectives here that ALG can take as a result, but maybe it means Seven can make a play.
Yeah, potentially. Every time the camera goes on him, it seems like he's making a play, so not a bad prediction at all, as he is maybe getting a little bit more passive after getting 3 unsuccessful dives, but not at all. Now going under turret, getting Graves down to half HP. Greg is coming up to support. Now Seven's getting a little bit low as well. The flash backwards from Seven. Great positioning there. The ultimate going to get him just down to next to no HP. The Ignite coming through onto the Gragas is going to be able to take him down now. A skirmish going into the bot lane as Mundo is just trying to go in onto this Thresh. A lot of damage coming through there. I cannot believe Seven didn't die. He got left on about 2 HP.
Yeah, and the Volibear there to bail him out of a bad situation. Goes in there with the flash and then immediately ultimates out. Means that they're able to get that clean 1-for-0 in the mid lane. Similarly, on the bottom side of the map, there's a skirmish.
Oh, Thresh with the hook! Are you kidding me? Now flashing forward into the play and able to get the last auto attack on him. The Nautilus ultimate coming through. Now the Lulu ultimating the Thresh to make sure that he doesn't go down too much. And now Jinx is trying to re-engage Volibear coming through to make sure that doesn't happen. A god hook by Thresh to be able to secure that kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, the kill goes onto the Thresh, so it's not a little bit of extra gold into this Jinx's pockets. They would have loved to have that, put Bear Shorty's a little bit more ahead, get some gold on this hyper-scaling champion that is Jinx, but no, instead it's just going to be the assist. But end of the day, you take those because you're in a losing situation on the map. You get every little bit of advantage or gold that you can, and it slowly but surely puts you in a situation to get back into the game. If your Viego, if the opposing team's Viego is just really popping off, you need someone getting back into the game, someone making plays and punishing your opposition. And that's what Thresh is looking to do here. Osir HC coming back to the support role after getting relegated to top earlier in the tournament, looking to show why he is the Thresh King.
Absolutely, sir. Oh, sir, pardon me. Absolutely popping off this game, but unfortunately his other lanes are failing him quite hard. Jungle top and mid gap is absolutely huge right now. They're down almost 6k gold, only 15 minutes into this game, so they're going to have to look to make some plays as Lilyrand can't even farm in his own jungle.
Yeah, this is a level 7 Gragas to level 10 Mundo. That is absurd. Mundo is going to run down the opposition, go where he pleases without a worry in the world. But maybe Lilyrand looking for a cast over the wall, Chang indeed looking for a hook, but instead both teams opting to clear minions in the mid wave. But here's the engage.
Oh, potentially now flashing into Seven and going right after that Jinx. All the ultimates landing on her. She just gets blown up absolutely immediately. Nice. Greg's ultimate displays a little bit, but it's not going to be enough as all 5 players able to grab a triple kill in the mid lane.
Just a super coordinated all-in dive, but here's the hook.
Now continuing all in, having to flash out as a Lulu ultimating herself, but that's not going to be enough. Now Greg is stuck under 2 or 4 players after him. A nice tank on the turret by Cheng and getting CC'd away. FaZe Zookeeper somehow still alive, dashing out of the way, actually able to grab 1 kill, now 2 kills, and now 3 kills. FaZe Zookeeper absolutely different. Oh my goodness, Graves is getting dove and he knows how to deal with it. Now a quadra kill.
The delayed quadra kill even comes through. That is so much gold onto FaZe Zookeeper, seemingly out of nowhere. I love the initial dive. It was so coordinated, combining the Nautilus ultimate and CC as a whole with the Volibear jumping in there. You have the follow-up from everyone. It was so clean. They dismantled them on that second tower, but then immediately after continue with an overextension. They get greedy. They try to dive the inhibitor turret and pay dearly for it. Now, FaZe Zookeeper, this is your time to shine. This is an extremely off-meta pick with the Graves mid lane here. You need to prove why this is your champion, why you are whipping this out on the elimination game from the tournament. Let's see if he can really pop off here and carry the game.
Yeah, closing the gap a little bit. What was just an over 8k lead is now cut down to 6, although it's still quite an advantage. Clawing your way back into this one any way you can is obviously very important. Now, Drag coming up in 14 seconds. I think we're likely to see a fight here as now engaging a 7-7. Going on Osir, able to land the stun. The Lulu ultimate coming through. Osir still not dead, trying to play them back. Jinx getting a lot of damage over the wall there. And now Thresh finally going to go down to Viego as then VH going back in a nice Dragon ultimate to displace the team. scene, but just completely mispositioned now. Able to grab the kill onto Greg as Volibear going down as well. Now Viego re-engaging onto the backline. Zookeeper doing a lot of damage here. Able to grab one. A nice Zonya's coming out. Mundo getting really low here. And now it looks like the fight is turning towards TTV. A double kill now on Zookeeper. Just going crazy. Trying to go after the backline. Eco Go might make it on out of there as continuing to march forward. TTV going at it. Kaisa able to get a kill as they go back. And a nice slow onto the Kaisa, but I think they're going to be on out of there. Heal coming out from both sides to try to re-engage. A great job by the Zoo. Hello, baby. You're back in this one.
That was just clinical out of TTV. That is the kind of clutch team fighting that you need out of the squad. Not only does Zookeeper come in at the end and put out enough damage to get that Jinx resetting and kind of execute the remaining members of ALG, but earlier in the fight, they just got totally funneled into a choke. The Gragas ultimate and crowd control combined with the Thresh box and Flay means they were just so stacked up. And as a result, Jinx was just there hitting with the rockets for so long. Yes, he's very far behind and not actually that strong at this point in the game. But when you're getting AoE crits on a Jinx for that long, it means that Zookeeper can come in at the end, kind of pop off with that burst on Graves, and they just win the team fight as a whole. If they can continue with this sort of form, then TTV is not out of this game.
No, not at all. And not only did they just secure a bit of a gold gap, clawing their way back forward into this game, but the gold distribution is beautiful on the side of TTV. They have all their kills stacked up on their hyper carry right now, which is exactly where you want it. Jinx still not out of this game at all. Has her mythic item built 1-1-3 with even CS. So doing a good job, although they're kind of out of this. The deaths are on the players that you wouldn't mind them on Lulu and Gragas, and the kills are on the players who you would like them on.
Yeah, what I'd like to see at this point is TTV funnel some gold into this Jinx. At this point in the game, Jinx is so close to really being a lethal threat on the map. Once she completes that hurricane so that her rockets are going out in AoE fashion and exploding all over the place, she is a 1v9 champion. That late game hyper carry status has been achieved. So she needs a little bit more money. She just needs to get that second item. So here we go. Can she farm it out, find that second piece, and be the difference maker in this match? Someone needs to help Zookeeper on the squad.
And now the Rift getting dropped towards bot. All 5 players there looking to grab the tower, and TTV taking the smart passive approach of just letting them have it. I don't know if they want to let this Rift get a second charge out. A nice hook by Thresh. They're thinking the same thing to be able to not allow their inhibitor turret to fall.
Yeah, and it means that only the inner turret is taken, which is really not a big deal, right? Yeah, it sucks. You lose that turret. The opposition gets a little bit of extra gold in their pockets, but it is by no means a game changer at this point in the match. Instead, the Baron will be that as both teams begin to posture around it on this top side of the map.
Baron finally up. ALG known for their quick Barons. Last 2 games I've casted, they've gotten 21-minute ones, and now going all in for it again, as they've already started it almost halfway through, and the players from TTV going over. But will they be quick enough, and will they even choose to engage on this Jinx rocket coming through? And now the blue team is able to get the Baron. ALG now hopping over the wall is Mundo, and looks like a bit mispositioning. And Thresh going to grab that Nautilus, and they're going to grab the Baron for a 1-for-1. ALG, a great choice to do that there.
Yeah, 1-for-1 in this situation, you don't hate it at all, especially because it's your support that dies. No one of value. It's not like you're giving over a shutdown from that kill, so definitely worth it in the end. You still have Baron on 4 members, and from the side of TTV, that just looks like a desperation play. I mean, really, the chance of that steal coming through is 1 in a million. They weren't super coordinated with the Jinx rocket, plus Gragas going over the wall with the body slam. Not super well played, but it's not like it loses them the match at the same time. So now ALG stacking up. They've got the Baron buff. They've got a gold lead. They are in position to win this game. How will TTV respond, and can they weather the storm of the Baron buff?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Even in the first game, which I think by any measure was quite a stomp, we were discussing that, you know, TTV didn't really misplay that hard. It was just ALG coming out, using their superb game knowledge, using their ability to utilize everything in their kits, as well as those Baron buffs, and really just positioning great. And it looks like they're doing that here again. I mean, TTV really not making any major mistakes, but ALG just completely outplaying them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got the Baron buff too, so they can slow things down a lot here. They don't have to force a team fight, which can result in them getting wiped like it did last time when they're all in the choke for Jinx and Graves to really go ham. So now they're splitting it up 4-1. Viego off in the side lane, looking to 1 versus 1 the Graves. He's been popping off so hard all game in that 1 as we see a hook go out into the pause. That is the ultimate buzzkill.
So, do you think that hook's gonna land on the pentakill enemy? I'm not sure. It looks like you might just be out of the range, but I wouldn't be surprised if it hit. And also, just kind of teasing us a little bit as we gear up for a potential fight between the Viego and Graves top as they meet again in the top lane after the skirmishes all mid. Graves has farmed back up in his kills and is looking to do something here, but I can't stop laughing. That hook on the screen. What do you think? Is that gonna hit?
I think it'll probably land. The Thresh hook is always a little bit farther than you think. Mundo does appear to have some sort of move speed effect under his feet, likely from the dead man's plate there. But really, I think even if it lands, they're not going to engage on that. At least I would hope not. TTV would have to just be absolute crazy people to do so. Hooking a Mundo, as it turns out, is not exactly the prime target. He's a little bit tanky at times. You know, he can be pretty hard to kill. And without your Graves around, I mean, we've been highlighting how FaZe Zookeeper is so strong, how he can deal so much damage. So there's no way you're punching through the brick wall that is Mundo.
Yeah, not at all. You got Mundo there, you got Nautilus there, you got Volibear there. It's just too much HP to rip through without your Graves, who has been exiled towards the top lane. So even if this hook does land, I think you're right. I don't think they're going to go in on this at all.
Yeah, so let's take a minute here to look across the board at what this team fight could look like. So first, let's check summoner spells. All up on both sides. That means that people are going to be flashing, igniting all over the place here. It also means that carries are going to be much safer than normal because they have their flash and heal available. As we load back
the hook actually does land. And Thresh is choosing to engage on it. Volibear attacking the back line. And Thresh caught between out with nobody. Now Viego rotating towards the mid lane, able to grab the kill on Lulu as Gragas gets ultimated up and has to ulti Viego out of there, able to secure the kill. Is Jinx onto the Viego, rotating towards the mid lane as Graves. He's just getting chunked down by Volibear, but doing a lot of damage onto the enemy team. Pentakill having to flash out, and Graves getting hooked in and finally going down to the Kai'Sa. Now Kai'Sa re-engaging, able to get the inhibitor there. A good job by TTV to get a couple kills, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and I don't think they can end the game here. This Jinx is quite strong when combined with crowd control and a body in front of her in the form of Gragas. That is definitely not the engage that we wanted. But, you know, when Thresh lands a hook, he's just got blood in his eyes. Guys, I've got someone. We're going in. And it doesn't go in their favor as a result. Here we go again in our pause, looking like for the same reason. The attack damage carry is lagging. You saw him just stall in that bush for a little while before the pause goes up. They don't want that carry getting caught. It could drastically change the game as there is a 450 gold shutdown there. No problem at all. Internet sucks. Come on, we got to get them some fiber or something in this match.
Exactly. Eco Go, you're going to receive a bell truck coming around to your house before too long, paid for by Canadian eSports League, and you can take that one to the bank as it looks like ALG is setting up for their third dragon of the game, and what looked like a close game that could potentially have a comeback, I think is looking more and more like a 2-0 from ALG.
Yeah, it's definitely like there is some hope here still available to TTV. That's what makes it so painful. In that last fight, the Jinx was just free firing for so long, and the health bars on the side of ALG as a result were very low. So again, this Jinx, it's the kind of thing where over and over the carry is saying, guys, just stall it out, one more item and I can team fight win. Guys, come on, just one more, stalled out a little longer. Let me get one more item. I can carry this match. But maybe that is not going to be the case. I think they need another miracle engage, which that Thresh hook there, quite frankly, wasn't. So the team fight is still a win. There is still the possibility of getting the match as the fight goes down.
And now the Zhonya's in from Gragas as they were trying to fight around that dragon, and it looks like Cheng is just going to sacrifice his life to allow the rest of his team to get out. A good calculated play from the side of ALG. A bit of reminder, ALG only has 6 minutes of pause time left because you're actually only allowed 15 minutes of pause time per game, and they've already used 9 of that. So, hey, potentially their win condition could just be if Eco Go disconnects again.
Yeah, not the result that we would hope for in a semifinals match, but rules are rules and they are there for a reason. Meanwhile, there, just to recap on that little drag fight that went down, the side of ALG picks it up no problem, but they do lose a life in the process. Nautilus goes down for it. And that kill, to my knowledge, has gone over to Jinx, which is, again, the person that we've been highlighting as someone that needs to get more gold. If she can pick up an Infinity Edge there, combined with an Enchanter like Lulu, like the Thresh for crowd control around her, she can really pop off and put out enough damage to crack the beefcakes on the side of ALG, but they need to survive to that point. They need to get farm. They need to get gold in their pockets, and ALG could punish while they try to.
Yeah, for sure. Baron timer ticking down. 2 minutes left, so they're able to grab their favorite objective once more. And I think ALG is not going to really force anything here. Like you said, take things a little bit slower, ensure that they keep their lead and continue to press it towards that lead, getting up towards 9K gold as all members of ALG rotating towards the top lane. Cheng just getting the wards out of the way for now as they set up for a top lane push.
Yeah, and ALG is playing this very clinically. I like that they're not, being a little bit over aggressive, that they're not being impatient. They're doing their due diligence. The support has people around him when looking to clear out wards so he isn't caught. And as a result, they're likely to get this top tower for free.
Yeah, potentially an engage coming in here as Thresh able to land the hook onto Viego. Out of boy, but not engaging, learning from his last mistake. We're going to do a quick time check here as I think a fight might break out. I'm at 25, 54, 55, 56. And it looks like we're 2 seconds ahead, so I'm going to go ahead and say 3, 2, 1, pause, 1, 2, play. Now I'm at 26:03, 04, 05. Production, you can let me know how ahead or behind I am there.
Yeah,
it looks like we are all synced up.
Yeah, we want to have that perfect here. The game-deciding team fight is likely to happen any minute. This Jinx, I don't think she is really in a state to carry it yet. She hasn't completed an item. Maybe she's going back to the shop now. Does she have an Infinity Edge? I don't think so. No, it's just the BF sword, and you really hate to see that. Maybe they can pull off a miracle, get a rabbit out the hat, and hold on for a little bit longer. But Baron is up in just about 15 seconds. This is a huge objective that can win the game for ALG. They can continue to apply pressure into the side lanes with that. And it looks like the side of TTV is not even going to be able to contest. They're so far back as the Baron is just spawning now, clearing out vision finally. I hope that we're able to see a fight around the Baron instead of a miracle steal attempt. It has just not been working out on the side of TTV.
No, not at all. And you can see in these team fights, if they position properly, if they do what they need to do, then, they do have a chance at winning them. But now the Baron underway. The Thresh hook not going to hit as the rest of the team is posturing down. The Baron now near half HP, underneath half HP, as they might just go for a miracle steal here. The Jinx rocket coming through, but ALG able to secure the Baron. Now a follow-up play, the flash coming out, and it looks like Gragas is all over this Volibear, but with support from Mundo, he's going to go down, and that's going to be a Baron and a kill from the side of TTV. Thresh throwing out a hook for good measure, as ALG might look to push this one into the end.
So much indecision out of TTV there. You need to either hard commit to the steal or to the fight. You can't just be waddling around in the middle ground doing nothing, and as a result, FaZe Zookeeper isn't able to get in, the Jinx isn't able to get in, the Bear Shorty's A. Now the flash was just blown from the Graves thanks to the flash hook at a Nautilus.
And let's see whether this will be the last fight from TTV. A nice engage by Thresh to be able to land the hook. Now Volibear going under turret, able to get polymorph. He's taking a lot of turret shots there, and the focus on the Graves is exactly what they want. The flash forward from Viego going into the Graves, but not able to grab the kill. Now Graves re-engaging onto the Viego. He's been ulted up, and look how low Viego got. Wasn't able to secure the kill here. Now an inhibitor going down, and TTV pushing ALG out of the base, not trying to let them end this one this early. Great positioning from TTV to hold on for another moment or two.
Yeah, and TTV, they're very nervous. You can tell from that play there, they had everyone down to a sliver of HP, and they still decide not to go in. I think a little bit of inexperience with the double enchanter comp that they're running. You want the slow, long, drawn-out team fights. That's how you win with double enchanters. But no, instead, they play it slow. They don't want to throw the game right then and there. They have an opportunity to hang on, and they're going to take it. Now they're looking into the red side jungle of ALG, starting up the dragon now, hoping to get the soul point for themselves.
Yeah, they want to make sure that ALG doesn't get on soul point, and a nice secure to be able to grab the soul point, but this might be the fight that they were looking for. Pentakill enemy getting very low here. Jinx doing a lot of damage. Thresh able to soak up that front line, and Graves getting hooked in, and that is absolutely huge. Graves going to go down. Gragas is going to go down. Thresh is going to go down. And finally, Jinx going down. A fantastic hook onto the Graves by Chang to secure what is likely going to be a victory here after that. And you can see how low the members of the side of ALG were heading out of that fight.
Oh, that team fight was so much closer than it looks. It was seriously on a knife's edge. I mean, the side of ALG, they're about to go into the choke, right? That's when the AoE coming out of TTV can really go ham and pop off, but instead it doesn't come through as Lulu is forced to flash away from 3 champions. They're going on to the Nexus is ALG, but it was so close. If they got them in the choke, Jinx could just damage for a little bit longer with Graves. It could have been completely different, but no. Instead, ALG looking for the Nexus.
And they get it. That is GG, folks.